Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Stinky. So, are you stressed? How stressed are you? Or do you even realize that you're stressed? That's what today's topic's all about, so let's get started. So, a couple of videos ago, I did a little bit of how to be a better version of you, or a better version of yourself. Either vice versa. And I talked about the law of attraction and how some people view what the law of attraction is and how some people view it. You can do it in a Christianity way. You can do it if you're Muslim. A lot of people view it. A lot of monks like to do it. It's what in the book, The Law of Attraction, said. A lot of monks practice it, but yet they don't call it the law of attraction. They just do it in a different term. Christians practice it, and they just don't call it the law of attraction. They just call it in a different term, which is God. And then a lot of people who just practice with the law of attraction just believe in the universe in general. So it just depends on what you or how you view it. So in today's series, I'm going to talk about stress. So how often do you stress, and do you know what you're stressing about? See, most of the time we don't know what we're stressing about, and we can end up exploding like a cocoon, like a bomb, and people just are like, why are you so attacking us? And a lot of people live like that. A lot of people live like somebody's constantly attacking them, and someone's constantly going, you, and they always have that attitude, like they think they own you and they can tell you how it is, or vice versa. So if you have that manager or that co-worker, or vice versa, your children sometimes can stress you out, your husband can stress you out, or your wife can stress you out, or your friends can stress you out, schoolwork in general if you're in school. So I just want to talk about little tips that have helped me to learn how to de-stress, and what are they that can help you de-stress. So in The Secret, there's another book that they wrote. It's called The Power, and that's the power of magic. There's called one Power, and this one's called The Magic. So this one is a really good book, and I really do recommend it. I recommend it 110%. So in this book, it just talks about how to be more grateful and how to release that stress and just be grateful in general for everything and anything. So for instance, if you are stressed about money and all your worries are about money because you are financially drowning, this is one thing that has helped me, because I used to be that way, is to learn where it is I'm spending my money, knowing what it is I'm doing wrong with my money, and learning to accept my faults in that, taking responsibility in what I have done wrong, and then talking to somebody, whether it would be somebody you find, a friend, or a pastor, or counselor, or somebody you can trust that you feel confident enough to talk to. Like I would talk to my pastor's wife, because she made me feel like she understood, she listened, she didn't make me feel judged. And every time I talked to her, she just made me feel more alive and more happy. And she would spiritually teach me scriptures and teach me how to, here's how betterly manage your money, and this is what the scripture says, and how, to do things. And I would feel more encouraged to follow up and do what she had said. And for that reason, I'm thankful, because she is an amazing person who has taught me to want to be better, who want to inspire other people to be more inspired instead of being stressed. Another thing is learning to accept the things you cannot change, and learning the things that you can change. For instance, I used to live in a bubble, and I lived two double lives. I wouldn't tell people how much I was hurting inside and how sad I was, because I lived in this crazy world where everything around me was just chaos. And she was my confidant, and I would go and talk to her. And finally one day, when she's like, well, you decide. You can't change the other person, but you can change what can happen to you. And it was like a light bulb. And it was just like, and ever since then, I gave all my worries to God and said, God, I need you to help me figure out a way to clean this out. And I have this problem and that problem. And I started writing short-term goals. And believe it or not, true story, I owed like about $1,000, almost $2,000 to PG&E, and about 600 to 900 in water bills, because my water bill for some reason wasn't receiving my payments when I was making them. So somebody on my mom's birthday, out of nowhere, on June 13th, I went and tried to make an arrangement and see if I could make payments, because I was no longer living in that facility, to try to get it off my record. And somebody had already paid the full amount. That's how the law of attraction works. You don't know how, you don't know when, it just happens. And that's how it happened. For me, it was like, wow, thank you, Jesus. Whoever paid for me for that, I want to say thank you. I don't know who you are, but if you know who you are, thank you. Thank you. And I just cried and thanked God and thanked the person, even though I didn't know who it was. I just thanked them, because literally somebody said, a gentleman or somebody came in and paid it all. And I was just like, who the hell would pay all this for me, and why? Why would anybody want to do that for me? And then they did the same thing with my water bill. And the funny part, it was ironically, it was on my mother's birthday. And my parents don't make a lot of money. My dad's on disability, and my mom only works 3 to 4 hours a day. So you do the math, it's not much money that they get. So it wasn't them. So I'd ask my sister, and it wasn't her. And I asked my brothers, and they can't, because they have 5 or 6 children to take care of, that they can't afford to just be like, hey, here's $2,000 and we'll pay you off your debt. No, it was just like, who the heck did this? Second is learning what you're stressing about. If somebody else is stressing you out, learning how to detach yourself from that situation. Take a breather, take a time out. For instance, now that me and my son's dad are in a better place, we both can communicate, and we both talk and say, okay, you're stressing me out and I'm stressing you out. We're not coming together, so we need a time out. So whenever we're ready to talk correctly, we can come back and we just talk. And we just say, okay, this is my frustration. This is what I need help with, and this is what I need you to do. And that's exactly what we both do. We come together and we just try to figure out a way to fix the problem, because there's always a solution. It's just that when you get so stressed out, you don't realize your solution. For some people, they like to hold it in. I do. I always hold everything in. I was like that. I'm learning to just let it go and just release my stress, whether it be by meditation and praying, whether it be talking to a friend, or whether it be trying to find somebody to help me figure out where that flaw or that problem is coming from, so I can try to have a better way of fixing things. Second is being aware of your attitudes and everybody else's attitudes. For instance, if you have children with disabilities, like a lot of people say, children with like ADHD kids, or kids with special needs, or autistic kids, sometimes a lot of people view them as, oh, they're bad children. They're loving children. They're not bad. Some of them are just hyperly active, that their brain runs around like in circles and they can't think. So they put their foot in their mouth all the time, even though they're not trying to. They're trying to be pleasing, but they do the opposite. And you end up screaming at the top of your lungs going, why did you do that? That's when you need to realize how to detach yourself and learn, okay, did he really do this on purpose? Or did he just do this just because he was trying to help? Find what it is, why he's doing what it is doing. Second is figuring out what's bothering you. A lot of times we don't know. Sometimes we'll just feel gloomy and not happy. And usually when that happens, I tend to just listen to a funny movie, listen to a comedian. I'll play and put Enrique Iglesias on, Gabriel Iglesias, sorry, or Enrique Iglesias' music to try to, like, make me happy and start dancing. Or I'll play, Christian, there's a lot of good Christian comedians out there, and I'll just start laughing my ass off. And I'll just start watching videos after videos of funny videos, and then before you know it, my mood is different, my attitude is different, and then I can start thinking, okay, why am I stressing out, and what's the problem? Another thing you need to do is take time for you. We always try to fix ourselves when we're sick. We got a cough, we got a cold, we got the flu, or vice versa. But you never take time to really fix you within inner you, because that's where it starts. So if you're stressed, you can create a lot of heart problems, a lot of mental problems. You can create an astounding amount of problems, and those are just the basic ones. You can get so stressed that you can be depressed for a long time, and I've known people that have been depressed that don't want to do nothing, and all they want to do is just stay in that depression bubble. And technically, it's not your fault, but when we don't know how to de-stress and don't know that there's a way out, it's just difficult. And sometimes people take their own lives. And I've had that happen in my family where somebody just decided they had enough, and they just literally just felt like that was it for them. They had nowhere else to go, and they were done. So what I like to do is pamper myself, meaning I go and I take a bath with Epsom salts, and I put the bubbles with lavender smells on it, and I just, sometimes I'll take a cup of wine with some chocolates, and then I'll read a book, or I'll read my Bible, or I'll watch Netflix videos, and I'll binge watch them. I totally forget about the world, and I'm just sitting there in the bathroom for 2 hours. I'm like, whoa, that took 2 hours? Wow, I'm like, ooh. But it refreshes me, and it makes me feel better. And it helps me want to be a better mom, a better daughter, a better wife, or vice versa, a better coworker. Because sometimes when you go to work and you have that coworker that always has the nasty attitude, because I know we do. At my job, we have that one coworker that always has to have that attitude, and she's always constantly like, "Hello, excuse me," and that's just the attitude she has constantly, and it just gets to you. Learn how to detach yourself from those people, like not to get your emotions involved in those, and just be like, brush it off, and just pray for them and be like, oh, may God be with you. So as long as you can do these things, you can learn to distress, and it can help you not fix your problem right away, but it can help you to come up with a better solution. So usually when I can't come up with a solution, I'm like, I need to talk to my friend. I need to figure out why I can't fix this, and now I'll start stressing. You know, another one is doing things that you like to do. For instance, I love photography, and it helps de-stress me. So I'll go out and I'll just start taking pictures of the moon, or I'll start taking pictures of flower, or I'll tell my son, hey, can I use you as a practice target today? Even though he doesn't like it, he'd be like, yeah. And I'll take him out to a park or whatever, and I'll just start practicing and start shooting on him and be like, hey, come here, I'm gonna take pictures of you. And that's what I like to do. Or I'll sit and I'll drink a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, and I'll read my Bible, and I'll skim through it, and I'll ask questions, and I'll write down, and I'll talk to my pastor's wife, and I'll be like, I need help, I've been stressing a lot. And she's very influential, so it's really neat to have somebody that you can confide in again and talk to. Second is, you gotta understand to love yourself within your own skin. For instance, if you're overweight, or if you feel like you're too skinny, or if you feel like you're not pretty enough, so you cake on all this makeup, learn to be okay within your own skin. Learn to love yourself. And I always tell people, what you see is what you get. If you don't like it, then move on. Because at the end of the day, I'm happy with me. And if you can't be happy with me, then you weren't needed in my life. Second is knowing how to practice that. Meaning, if you wear makeup constantly because you feel subconscious, learn to try to do one at a time. Wear less foundation, or one day just wear blush and eyeshadow, and that's it. Or one day do vice versa. For me, it was doing my hair. I'm not a very girly person, so I don't do makeup and I don't do anything. So I went and got my hair done, and I got it highlighted, and I did the whole works, and he did my hair, and everybody compliments me on my hair, and I love it. I love the compliments, but I love how it turned out, and I was feeling overwhelmed at first because I wasn't my idea of me, but I've learned to, you gotta take care of you because nobody else is going to. So I just started doing that, and it's been wonderful. It's like I feel more younger, more alive, and more ready to tackle all my day. Second is, if you're the opposite, if you're like me, you feel like you're not pretty enough, so wear something that makes you feel. A lot of people feel like they need to wear it, so wear it. If you need to feel pretty and that's what makes you feel good, wear the makeup. Do your hair, dress up, whatever it is that makes you feel good, wear it. Another thing in The Secret, it talks about writing down a journal. So I'm going to show you something, and let me look it up for you. Let me show you guys something. In The Secret, it talks about being grateful and writing down what you're grateful for. So it says right here, I am grateful for whatever. I am grateful for blah, blah, blah. Or I am blessed to, or you can put, I am so happy and grateful for. I am truly grateful for. Or you can put, with all my heart, I thank you for. And this, like I said, the secret word I cannot express is thank you. If you just show gratitude and thankfulness, you'll learn to be more humble. And things will come. God talks in the Bible that when you're more grateful and you're more humble, it will be more of a blessing for you at the end of the day. Because it's true. If you love what you do, the rest will come and follow. That's why a lot of people, when they love what they do, they make good money. And they do it so well because they love what they do. Second, so another thing is just learning how to accept the stress and know that it's going to be stressful, but learning how to manage it. I go for a run sometimes when I can't. It's something really stressful. For instance, when my grandfather got cancer and they said that he has a cancer that's not curable. Patrick Swayze had it. It was pancreatic cancer. And it was just like, it's the same one that Patrick Swayze had. And my grandfather goes, yeah, they only gave him 6 months to live, and he lived for 6 years, for 3.5 years later, he lived. But it was really hard to see him in the pain that he was most of the time, because sometimes he'll have good days and then there'll be days where he was just struggling. His face would turn yellow, his skin started turning yellow, he started losing his sight, his like where he was at, he couldn't talk very well, and it was just hard because I lived here in the United States and he lived in Mexico, and he was very well taken care of, but it was just hard for me to see that because him and I were very close, and it was hard for me to see that. So I would be stressing a lot about that because I would want to do more. I was wanting to help out more, and there was really not much I can do. There was really not much I can do other than text him every other day. I would call him and video chat with him. He started going to a class, started learning how to text, how to use a smartphone, how to talk on a computer, and turn it on, and we would video chat all the time, and it was just a lot of great memories. But it was also very stressful for me because I couldn't do nothing. So I would go for a run because I used to do cross country and track, and I would go out for a run and I would just run until my heart was content, come back feeling better, and I would open up my mind a little and give me more clarity, and I was able to be like, okay, I know that he's gonna come out okay, whatever the outcome is. So when he passed away, we were all okay with it because we knew that that's where he needed to be. He needed to be in a better place instead of just sitting in this world suffering with a nasty disease that literally just kills you day by day. And another thing is just expressing yourself. Learning how to just love yourself and tell yourself that you're proud of yourself, and write down where you want to be in 6 months from now. And then short-term goals. I always say it's easier to start with short term goals than long-term goals, because long-term goals, you get all pumped, yay, and then the next thing you know, you just don't finish them. It's like New Year's resolutions. I believe they don't work, because a lot of people do the New Year's resolutions and start, oh, I'm gonna lose weight, this year, and where do they end up? Same place. They never did anything. So it's better to do a short-term goal. Like for me, one of my short-term goals is to always have, like I always say, $100 in the bank. And that is one of my short-term goals in 6 months, that I would always want to, in 6 months from now, I want to keep at least $100 in my bank after I paid all my bills and did everything, and had time to de-stress. I usually take my son out to go see a movie once a month, or I go and take us out to eat once a month. I try not to spend so much money, so I always tell myself something, and I do it because I know that if I don't, I'll spend it. So I have to tell myself, I have no money, I have no money, I have no money right now. I have no money with me, I have no money with me. Or, and vice versa. In The Secret, they tell you, no, you're supposed to think the opposite. You're supposed to think, I have money, I have money, I have money. Thank you for the abundance amount of money I have. And so what I started doing is I just thank God. Thank you for the abundance of money that I do have. But it helped me stay grounded so that I don't lose myself in the things that I don't need to spend. Because a lot of times we stress ourselves out because we overspend, especially during tax season. I see it all the time. All my friends are like, oh, you got your taxes. And the first thing they do is they buy all this stuff. And then the next thing you know, they're over there asking people, can I borrow rent? It's just like that. Some people I've known are very wise. They'll go and they pay off their debt, like their credit cards and stuff like that, which is very wise. But you should always leave yourself some money so you can always go do something fun for yourself and for your family. And that's all I have for you guys today. So if you guys want to see more videos like this is just my series that I just did. And I finished it off with stress, because I think stress is the main key to what's stopping you from becoming a better person. So if you focus on stress and that's all you focus on, you're going to get nowhere. So I hope you guys enjoy these. Comment below if these were beneficial for you. I hope you guys enjoy these. I hope that you're empowered and inspired like I was. So I thank you guys. I hope you guys have a great day. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you guys can see more videos like this. And I hope you guys have a good night. Bye. A little bit of a picture of the moon. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. But this is what I do to distress myself. I go out, and sometimes when I'm feeling too stressed or my mind is too cluttered, I go out and I take pictures of sceneries or the moon and stuff like that, because it reminds me of beauty and it just calms me down. And then I go and I practice editing my work and just trying to bring out the best. So there it is.